So welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about getting monetized and the 4,000 hours that you need in 365 days. And we're going to talk about what that really means, because a lot of people are saying that they're losing hours and they don't understand why. And we're going to talk about what possibly could be happening and why you're losing hours. And a lot of people don't understand what that 365 days really means, getting 4,000 hours in 12 months. So I have two guests with me today that are in different stages of their YouTube channel. One is on her way to getting monetized, and that's Unapologetically Gomes. And the other is down the rabbit hole, and she has recently got monetized in the last few months. And so she brings to the table some of the things that she went through when she first got monetized. So we'll give you down the rabbit hole, who is Marty, and Unapologetically Gomes, who is Marie. So we have people coming into the chat. So let's give people a chance to get in. And so so far we've got Philip Cochran and Sin City Soap and Candle and Cabin Life with Glenn and Maureen and Down the Rabbit Hole and Major Black Rose. Let me go ahead and, okay. And we've got Unapologetically Gomes, one of our guests. And Life with Ken and Jane, Ability Mom of 2, and more rolling in. So let me go ahead and give our guests the ability to moderate. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started. So first, why don't we introduce the channels. So Down the Rabbit Hole, Marty, why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel?
Well, I am a cooking channel. No, just kidding. I am a travel channel. I started off with just like solo and couples travel as a supplement to my blog. And then as I got more and more into videography and editing and stuff, I switched into family travel because now I've got 2 little ones to take care of.
My blog.
Oh,
sorry about that. I was trying to share the link.
And yeah, we do just travel stories and travel advice and little mini travel documentaries and anything travel.
Great. And Marie, tell us about your channel.
Sorry about that, Marty.
That's okay.
I have a friend that wants to come and I wanted to share with her the link. Unapologetically Gomes. We started off as a family vlog. We still are, but we're going through a little bit of transition of a little bit of changes right now. I started off because my kids were into acting, and then it slowly went into a family vlog, and now it's becoming more of my channel. So I just enjoy editing videos, and we do mostly just like daily vlogs, a lot of haircut and ear piercing stuff because my kid just loves to live on the edge. And then we do live streams every week. So I really enjoy the live streams. And some are trivia, some are interviewing other YouTubers, and that's about it for us. So thanks for inviting us here. And it's Gomes. You can just call us the Gomes family, because Unapologetically is really hard to say with the Gomes, but it is our brand, and I like to be unapologetically. So you can just say the Gomes fam.
So the 3 of us have been friends for quite some time now. We originally met Pusa, is that correct? I believe it was Pusa that the 3 of us met, along with many people that are in the chat right now. And we've been friends for probably going on 9 months now, and have kind of gone through the trials and tribulations of YouTube. And we've learned a lot over the last 9 months. But the big question right now, as we're coming up to the anniversary of Adpocalypse, when they changed all the rulings of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 views in the past 12 months, the big question has come up on what does that really mean? We understand the 1K subs, but what does it really mean to get 4,000 hours in the past 12 months? And what people are realizing is that this 365 days is a rolling 365 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you very quickly something from YouTube. And so this is in their words of what they're looking for. And then we're going to answer some questions and define some things. So the key ingredient for a profitable YouTube channel are a loyal, engaged community. Are you guys engaged? I hope so.
We're engaged.
And steady stream of great videos that are advertiser friendly, which is a whole nother subject in itself. Most creators find that before they can earn money with their channels, they first need to grow an audience and make consistent videos that viewers love to watch. All YouTube creators can apply to join the YouTube Partner Program as long as it is available in your country. After you hit 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months and 1,000 subscribers, your activity will be reviewed against our policies. If everything looks good, you'll be able to join the YouTube Partner Program and begin serving ads on your content. This threshold will help ensure that revenue only flows to creators who are playing by the rules. Now, one of the big questions about that 4,000 is once you get monetized, do you have to maintain it? And the answer is no. You don't have to maintain that. And I confirmed that today on YouTube. And at the end of this broadcast, right towards the end, I'll put some links to these reference materials that I'm referring to that state this. And they're straight from YouTube. And in these videos and these links that I'll put in the chat, they say you do not have to maintain that 4,000 once you're monetized. And that's another big question that everybody's been asking. But the big thing is this 365 days of that you have 4,000 watch hours in the previous 12 months. And how that is really defined, it's a rolling 365 days. So if you haven't reached 4,000 hours, okay, so if you have today and you go back 365 days, if there's not 4,000 hours, then you're not qualified to be monetized. If you've been on YouTube longer than 365 days, you start losing time at 366, 367. And I think Marty has a little demo for us.
I have a highly technical drawing that I 30 seconds.
A lot of time into this.
Yeah, so here's my highly technical drawing. So if you started your YouTube channel way back in January, on January 14th, and you managed to get 10 hours of watch time that day, you would scroll all the way forward to December of 2018 to the 14th. So there's a 365-day span here. But once the next day happens and it turns into December 15th, this will slide to January 15th from the year before. So you will lose those 10 hours. And if you only got 2 view hours on the 15th, you're going to be down 8 hours in total. I don't know if that makes sense.
So does that make sense to everybody? You know, tell us in the chat if that doesn't make sense. Make sure you put the @ Colorado Martini so I see that.
Right. Can I share my example of yesterday?
Exactly. Marie's been losing hours. And so she has some very good examples of what is really going on. Go ahead, Marie.
So for me, I had a really great 2017, but we just started out, we were growing. And so I uploaded a lot in December. And then in January, you know, the beginning of January is when I started dying off, but I had some great videos. So I wasn't vlogging or videotaping a lot this year. I'm just getting going again. And so I did a great live stream last week, uploaded new videos this week, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going up. I'm starting to gain hours again. And I was so happy because I started gaining hours again. And then last night, literally I was up till 1:30 in the morning. And literally after 12 o'clock, midnight, I check my view time and I dropped 2 hours. I'm like, how do I drop 2 hours when I just started uploading again? So I went back to last year and I looked at what I uploaded last year, basically on that same day. And it was my son's ear piercing video, which had over 6,000 views. So I'm like, okay, that's what I have to battle this week. I need to upload more than what that video was, because I just lost that video's hours. So I don't get the hours that we had on that video that day. So it literally goes every day. So I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. So if you drop, go back to see what you uploaded a year ago that time. And so you need to upload more in order to keep gaining than what you had a year ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So a year ago, 366 days ago, you uploaded this ear piercing video. And now that it's 366 days from now, you've lost all the hours that you gained for that particular video.
On that day.
Plus all the other videos prior to that.
For that day. Now,
right.
For that day. If that
video, day by day, you're dropping hours.
Right.
Or gaining, right? Depends on, maybe you had a video that had 40 hours, but you want to have those high-ranking videos within your 365 days, because as soon as it rolls past, you drop them. I lost one video that had 40 hours attached to it. So that really hurt, and I just scrambled to try and regain 40 lost hours.
Right. If you did a great live stream 366 days ago that had great hours on it, it's turned over. So it's a constant battle when you're trying to get monetized.
We're putting a lot of work into this, and they're not making it easy for us. And some of these people are getting monetized very quickly, and they're doing a lot of live streams, which is great, but their content is, they're not putting a lot of value into their content, and it's scary.
One of my warnings too with live streams, they're a great way to get to your 4K, but they're not really evergreen content too. And you want to make content that is going to continue building your hours. And because I don't know about you, but my viewers don't tend to go back to my live streams and continue to watch them. It's a one time and done kind of deal. So you want to mix it up too, and not just rely on live streams to get your hours.
Well, explain evergreen, because everybody may not know what that means in the chat.
Evergreen content is content. It's like an evergreen tree. It's a year-round thing. So you want to have content that viewers are going to be constantly searching for, coming back to a how-to video or some sort of informative video or very entertaining, that it's going to be something you can search year-round. Whereas a live stream about a certain event, like I did a live stream on the Venice flood, got really popular that day. And then after that, I don't think anyone's going to bother watching it again. So it's not an evergreen content video.
And use searchable titles, Thank you. Say hi to
you. Cream.
With a little amaretto.
Vodka.
Okay. Yeah, I try to use searchable titles. I know, isn't he so sweet? This is cheers to you, Colorado Martini.
Cheers to all the YouTubers.
Yes.
For all the small creators.
Yes. Let us all get monetized. I do try to use searchable titles. I did learn that a while ago when I was, that's one thing about those. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you, boy.
I know. Put your little swim trunks on. But I learned that on one of the groups I was in about searchable titles. It's something I think a lot of people don't think about. You just throw on a title that you feel like reflects your video, and you don't want to be deceitful, but you also want to use something in the teaser in the beginning that makes people stay engaged to see it, and then also use a searchable title. So I do have, and that's another thing that I'm like, why aren't I monetized yet? Because I do have about 7 videos that I get a view on every day. It's weird. Like I did a whistle one time. So in the hashtag, I put how to whistle loud. And it's got over, it's not huge, it's not viral, but it's got over 2,000 views. I don't know. You see me, my big fat me on the front whistling, but it gets viewed every day almost,
Well, what scares me about people who vlog every day is that their material is not evergreen. And so once they get monetized, is anybody going to watch those videos again? And
that's why I cut out certain things. I cut out haircuts. I know it sounds weird, but as a family vlog, if you're taking your kids to get their hair cut, even when Ian did his ear piercing, I vlogged that day and I said in the video, Ian's going to get his ears pierced. I didn't show it in my family vlog. I cut it out. So in the family vlog, I put a little iCard if you want to see Ian get his ears pierced. And then I put the ear piercing separately. It's a 3-minute video that got over 6,000 views. And the only reason it stopped getting views was because Dummy Me changed one of the hashtags. And then once I changed the hashtag, it stopped. But cut out things like that. That's my advice as a family vlogger. Cut out the haircuts. Haircuts do great. And cut out the things like ear piercings or something that you think could, so I have a lot of little 3-minute videos of things like that. It's not going to get a whole lot of hours, but it builds up after a while and they get searched all the time.
I was watching in YouTube Academy today, they were talking about this very thing, that you go on vacation, vlog your vacation, but also make videos about the equipment that you used and make another video about one place that you visited, and also have that daily vlog of the trip itself. So you have those evergreen videos plus your daily vlog to make your channel very well rounded. I thought that was very interesting.
We have a vacuum that gets views on it all the time. My husband's vacuum, he's vacuuming the house, but I did it separately, I did it separately. And then on the vacation vlogs, those get good retention, because a lot of our videos as family vloggers, are a minute, 2 minutes. Somebody doesn't watch the whole thing. But vacations, if you really do a good job on documenting your vacation and you use that vacation in the title, I have some from San Diego, Rancho San Bernardo, Carlsbad area. Those for a long time I had almost 100% retention rate. Now they've dropped to 80%. But when people are looking to go on vacation, they look for things that show them.
That's so true. I'm going to Galveston in a couple of weeks, and I've watched probably 20 different YouTube videos on Galveston, and and it amazed me how many views these people had just on Galveston.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of views, but the retention's good on it.
Right.
When I trip plan, YouTube is my place to go for getting ideas of places to see and things to do, and it's my search engine.
Right, exactly.
And put the iconic places in the title. I might put, when we went to Las Vegas, I'll have Las Vegas, and then what is that thing called now? I can't remember the name. The high roller wheel, the thing, I forget what it's called. Or I'll put the hotel in the title and put those in the tags. So when people are looking for that hotel or that particular tourist spot, that they look for those.
So I'm going to do a quick roll call in the chat so we can give some people some shout outs. And please make friends in the chat. We encourage it, but please do not use the S word or S4S. It's against, it was another thing I learned today. Now, you hear this all the time in live streams where people tell you not to do that, but it is true that the channel that you're on is responsible for what's in the chat. And if you're saying things that are against policy and asking for support, that it's against policy, and I can actually get a strike against it since it's my channel. So this is one of the main reasons that in chat they always ask you to do that. But do make friends. But we have all sorts of people. We have Angelina Marie, Ang Bona TV, Diane Pale, Eclipse Brewing, Elf Lord Journeys, Florida Pirate, Giggles. Oh, Giggles, I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you. Greg Gaming, LAJ 5126, Life with Ken and Jane, Major Black Rose. Oh, welcome, Major Black Rose. He's one of my new followers. He's a gamer. And Michael McReynolds and Panic D Paranormal History. Mr. Martini. Ooh, he might be a troll.
I think it might be trouble.
I'll vouch for him. Philip Cochran and PSPR Paranormal Pursuit and Skyheart Demon, who just recently got monetized. Congratulations, Skyheart Demon. Just got monetized. I was so happy for her and everybody else who's been getting monetized. It's so great. We've all been on this road together. Everybody that's in this chat, we've known each other for almost a year now. And we all started in some kind of group chat somewhere, whether it be I Am Creator or Pusa Studios, and we all met and we've all stayed together as friends. And I just think that's wonderful. And that's the one thing I did not expect when I started this journey, was the wonderful community that I was going to be a part of and the wonderful friends I was going to make. And I mean, every single person in this chat I consider a good friend, and it's just been wonderful. I mean, do you feel the same way, that you didn't expect to make such wonderful friends?
Oh, yes. You know, monetization or not, it's like the friendships I've made are just priceless.
Yeah, I feel like I could go to every state in the US and have somebody to go crash on their couch.
And Marty and I have been talking about girls' trips.
Yeah, the cruise.
Bali to go see Sanjay Aldean, who's another YouTuber out there.
No, I think we need to do a girls' cruise weekend.
There you go.
I've never done a cruise. I'd be so up for that.
So Marty, you were recently monetized. And when you were monetized, I have two questions. One, how did you get notified? And was it like immediately right when you hit 4,000, like that day or within a couple of days? And then can you also talk about the music issues that you had?
And congratulations. I didn't even know that, Marty, until today. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a couple months ago, I think, maybe 3 months ago. Or, anyways, yeah, as soon as my little, you know, on your channel page where you can see what your subscribers are at and what your watch hours are at, as soon as my watch hours went over 4,000, everything turned green, and they sent a little note that said, you are now under review for monetization. I didn't get an email or anything. I only had that in my the channel page. And then it took about 6 weeks, I think, for the review to come through. And then I got an email that said, congratulations, you're part of the YouTube Partner Program.
That feels so good.
I was so excited.
I have chills just hearing you say that. That is so awesome.
I was part of it before the adpocalypse thing happened, and so I had $82 sitting there for about a year.
Oh, I didn't know that you were demonetized.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was just sitting there waiting, watching that $82, and I was like, oh, I'm so close to the threshold, and then they cut me off. But it was very exciting to get back in, and then within a month, I'd hit that $100 threshold. So I actually got my first YouTube paycheck, which was really cool. Yeah.
And so tell us about the music issues that you had.
Well, so now that before I got monetized, I've been pretty careful about copyright stuff since I started paying attention to YouTube videos and how you're supposed to be editing and stuff. But so I've been taking music off of a website called Hook Sounds. I don't know if anybody else uses Hook Sounds. It's really good. Lots of nice cinematic type of music. And it's supposed to be all copyright free, ready for YouTube kind of music. Shouldn't have any licensing issues. But one of the songs that I chose actually got a copyright claim on it from, I think it was EMI Music or something. So not all of the music on that website is actually copyright free. And it happened to me twice. The first video I'd already had a whole bunch of views on, and EMI had said, you can use the song, we're just going to monetize the video. So I was like, fine, whatever, it's one video. So I left the same music, and so EMI gets all the profit from that video. But the second time it happened, I was ready for it. I was waiting because I'm like, I'm not sure if I trust Hook Sounds completely. And so as soon as I got a claim on that song, I took the video down, re-edited it, changed the music, and then I re-uploaded it. So you just have to be careful. And if you're really not sure if you're going to get a claim on your song, I suggest uploading it privately and then giving it 24 hours. And within that 24 hours, if there's going to be a claim on it, you'll probably get a notification. And then you can...
Privately or unlisted? Privately?
I do private.
Okay.
But you can probably do unlisted too and just not give anybody the link, right? But
That's a really good point.
Give yourself about 24 hours to see if you're going to get a claim on the music track or not. And then you know if you'll need to re-edit it before, because if you have to take it down and re-edit it with new music, you don't want to be losing any views. So,
and that's not a strike. That's just a
claim
against you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, none of the copyright claims I've had have been, I'm not clear where the claim and the strike line is, but I've always gotten a notification that said either, no, you can use this music, but you won't get any of the monetization for it. You can use this music, but your video won't get played in these countries. Or I just changed the music, I re-edit it.
So in the chat, my Facebook is blowing up. I don't know whether you can hear it through my microphone or not.
We can hear it.
I was like trying to tell them that I can hear them in the live and I can't seem to turn off the alerts. And the reason it's blowing up is that Senja Aldine just was monetized just now.
Oh, she got monetized or just hit her 4K?
Just got monetized. So my Facebook is like blowing up because everybody's like sending her gifts and stuff. So
she got monetized or she just hit her 4K hours?
She just hit her 4K.
Oh, okay, so she's under review.
Well, Ability Mom of 2 in our chat, because I was telling him, going, guys, you're coming through on the live, and I can't seem to turn it down. And so Ability Mom of 2 in our chat said that Senja Aldine just got her to hit 4K.
That's exciting.
That's what they're talking about.
I get so excited for everybody because I can only imagine what I'm going to feel like. So when somebody gets monetized, I'm super excited for them.
I wish we could all get together and have a celebration. That'd be so cool if we could do something like that.
There's a lot of good stuff in the chat, a lot of good questions that we're kind of missing.
So what are you seeing, Marty?
Somebody mentioned epidemic music, which I know like Peter McKinnon and stuff uses. But you do have to pay for a subscription, which is why I don't use it, because I'm too cheap, but I don't make enough money off my YouTube videos to spend more money on them. But I know Epidemic Music has lots of good royalty-free stuff. And once you pay for the subscription, you don't have to pay for licensing. But
it's like $35, isn't it? Like a year, or do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm so cheap, I won't pay that.
Party. I don't want to pay when I'm not making money. Which
yeah,
exactly. A question, if you guys don't mind me asking a question that I don't know how you guys feel, but I hear a lot of people who pay to promote a video because they're trying to get to the hour. So like I had this, I won't pay because I'm not making money and I don't want to pay when I'm not making money. So I had somebody who said, oh, I just pay $5 every time I upload my video, because they don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, but this channel has had a lot of hours. I feel like you can kind of tell, that's just my opinion, everybody can tell me what you think about this, that you can kind of tell when they're paying for views because I don't see a community there. So I feel like if you're paying for views, you can tell in the I don't know, in the conversation, in the chat, and how do you guys feel about that? They keep telling me, oh, just pay $5 and, and I don't feel that's right. How do you guys feel? Or how does anybody in the chat even feel about that? And have you ever done that? Has anybody ever done that?
How do you do that?
I don't even know because I haven't looked it up. I think is the AdSense or Google Ads or something like that they pay. Google
AdWords, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that, I think. But I don't know. I'm like you, Marty. I'm just like I don't want to pay when I'm not making. Like if I was making a ton of money and this was completely a job, which I would love for it to be a job, I think that might be different to invest a little in equipment and things like that. But I don't know about, when it's right now, it's more of a hobby, and just fun. And I'd like to be monetized.
I don't think I have a problem with it, just for the simple fact that, a lot of people are doing lives that they're just doing lives just to do lives to get there. Mm-hmm. And really, what's the difference of that, doing that and paying for an ad? I mean, some people have money, some people don't, and everybody's kind of doing what they have to get there.
Right. I don't think there's anything wrong with it ethically. I just mean for like me, I'm just like, I just don't like paying for something where I'm not making money there yet. I
Oh yeah.
my money and equipment right now and trying to make my videos better. And I'm actually happy that it's forced me to do lives, because in the beginning it forced me to do lives, because I'm like, I'm not going to get there. You know, talking with a lot of people, I was like, I'm never going to get to my hours if I don't do live streams. And my first couple live streams were really nerve-wracking, but doing the live streams, I feel like has forced me to make friends, you know, because I wouldn't be talking with you if I didn't decide to start going live. I wouldn't have met Polly Vlogs, who might be my cousin now, from doing.
But I'm talking about the live streams where it's not really a show, and it's, you know, watch me do gardening.
Oh,
or there's nothing there. They're just playing. They're just live, and there's nothing even on the screen except their living room. And more power to them if that's what it takes to get there. I'm not saying that's wrong, but everybody's just kind of doing what they need to do to get there.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it does need to be engaging for me to do it. There's nothing wrong with whoever. It's your channel.
Right.
Do whatever you want, you know. But I do, like, when I'm clicking through and I want to support some of my friends that are live, on some people it can get boring real quick, you know. I try to stop by, I try to show some support and stay a little bit to give them some view time, but I like when there's conversation. I really enjoy it when there's other YouTubers involved.
Well, you're not going to have people sticking around watching, so you're not actually getting the watch hours that you're hoping to get anyways by having the world's most boring live stream. It's not going to happen. People aren't going to stay. And like I said, it's not evergreen content, so nobody is going to go back and rewatch that video.
Right.
Exactly.
I did one on vidIQ once when I got my vidIQ, because if I find something I feel like I want to share, and I really liked the vidIQ when I got that app. I finally decided to, everybody's talking about this, let me get it. So I did a live stream on it, and vidIQ actually came in my stream and visited, and then I accidentally hung up the stream. And it was going so well, and I accidentally got so excited that I hit the button and hung up on everybody. There went my live stream. But that video actually does get viewed here and there, you know. And I feel like it's because it's giving something still. I was pulling up some channels, even though I'm not like this great YouTuber. I still was just pulling up some channels to show how it worked. And that's one of my favorite live streams, I think.
I did one where I wallpapered after having a few drinks. And I knew that was not an evergreen content.
Marty, and we were helping you decorate.
It was fun. It was fun at the moment, but I have it unlisted now because I'm like, no one in their right mind is going to go back and rewatch a video of me wallpapering.
But it was fun. You were showing us, you know, we were picking out the wallpaper for you. It was great.
I have a lot of live streams unlisted.
There is a lot of conversation going on in the chat. I was going to read some of it. So Life with Ken and Jane says, I have made great friends on YouTube. We just went to pizza with another channel we follow. So that I love meeting up with YouTubers that live close by. Elflord Journey says, me too, even though my wife says they are imaginary friends.
My husband says the same thing about me. He calls them all my imaginary friends. I feel like that. Do you guys ever remember that commercial where it's a young girl? It was a few years ago. It was a young girl on and talking about her 700 friends, but her parents were out like bike riding and cruising and doing all this stuff. And she's talking about her 700 friends, and she's sitting in front of her computer. And I feel like that's me now.
I know we've gotten to know each other as if we were in the same room, because we do video chats and we talk every day, and we become good friends. I mean, I can even tell you what Marty did last night. You wild thing.
There's a reason I'm drinking iced tea today.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So let's see. What else do we have here? So Skyheart Demon says, my friends made on the YouTube are more than real. I know these people seriously because, we've gotten to know each other so well. Ability Mom of Two says, amen. I started this as a hobby for my family, but then have made friends I've never expected. I mean, you just didn't expect it. that you were going to become so close. I knew I'd meet people, but I never realized I'd become good friends with them.
Oh yeah, I had this envision when I first started of just everybody being like creepy and stuff, and not you know what I mean, because of all the things. Because I wasn't even on social media, and so I just was like afraid of social media. I deleted all my videos at the end of the first month, which I hated that I did that. And yeah, I never in a million years.
When you started, you didn't want to tell anybody your name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I felt really uncomfortable telling people my name was Denise, and now I'm like.
Oh, I know. I think it helps too because my kids are older now. When I first started a few years ago, I was really nervous about the kids, and there's still limits, there's still a lot of limits. But my son's now, 6'2" and a black belt in karate. I'm like, you can handle yourself. So, but
how long have you been on YouTube, Marie?
I've only been on a year in July, but I did start a channel the year before that for a short time, and I had deleted it completely. So that's why if you go, you'll see it says my channel started, because then when I restarted it, I guess it kept it. I thought I deleted it all, but it kept it. So it shows that I've been on for 2 years, but I really my first upload was July 24th, 2017. And it was slow. There's a lot of times I'd wake up in the middle of the type, and I'm sure there are people in the chat that understand this. I'd literally wake up in the middle of the night and be putting all my videos on unlisted or private or deleting some. It was a process to let go.
So Marty, when you being monetized, when you make your videos private, did you notice if you've lost time? Like you lose that time? Do you know the answer to that?
You will, yeah. Only unlisted and public videos count towards your full amount. So anything that's on private doesn't go into your count.
Okay, I was wondering about that because Mr. Martini's been gaming live, which is funny because I've had to step in because he doesn't talk. or answer people in the chat and stuff, and I've unlisted those, and I wasn't sure if I should make them private or unlist them so they still count.
And if somebody has a link somewhere, they'll even still get a view.
Yeah, well, like somebody was telling you, Denise, you could do unlisted so it doesn't show up in your main channel page, but do a playlist with all of your gaming videos so that still with one click people can access those live streams, but it's not taking over your main channel page, so you can still have like the lifestyle aspect.
And right. That's exactly what I've done. I've made a whole gaming playlist, and because I just didn't want them in the main channel because, I'm going out to businesses and soliciting business from them. And I don't want them coming in and seeing the gaming channel, the gaming videos, because that's not really our main thing. It's more for fun than it is anything else. And so he can play with Greg Gaming in Skyheart Demon someday. So he's trying to learn how to do it.
When you do those, when you click on what kind of video are you, do you put gaming so that they'll possibly show up in the YouTube gaming area?
He does it through his PS4, and I haven't really watched him do it, and so I'm not sure what his options are.
You can go back though. You can go back to the video and you can change the category.
That's a great idea. I've never thought of that. I will do that.
Because it makes a difference sometimes on what YouTube pushes out.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I've been learning how to do all the gaming stuff through Greg Gaming and Skyheart Demon. They've been a big help when it comes to that. So because in this community, we have a lot of gamers.
Yeah, Ian's going to be doing some for me. He wants to get the other ear pierced up top, and I want him to for the views. I feel like I'm pimping out my kids. I'm like, I told you he's got to get his grades up. So he's wheeling and dealing. He's trading with me. So he's the gamer. So he says he might be doing some gaming on Sundays coming up here soon. So look out for him.
So Phil Cochran says, my review happened in less than 3 weeks. Sometimes they can take longer. How long did it take for you, Marty, before you were you hit your 4,000, you were reviewed, and then you started seeing ads?
After I got the email that I was in the partner program, I think it was 48 hours, and then I had ads on my channel. And it wasn't on every video right away. It was on my most popular videos right away. I think the way they started setting up the ads was as the videos were being viewed, then they were deemed suitable for advertisements. Because I know Senya was watching some of my older videos and she's like, there's no ads on this yet. But after she had watched one, then it suddenly started getting ads on it. So I think it's on a how popular your video is basis.
And tell us the difference between having the ad in the beginning, having it embedded, and also clicking on the ads. What's the big difference between those three things?
Sorry, what are you asking?
So the three different kinds of ads that you can have. You can have one in the beginning of your video, which has to play for 30 seconds for you to get paid. The ones that are embedded, and then whether you click on an ad or not. What's the difference between those when it comes to money?
I'm not 100% sure the rates, and I think it's a little bit different for everybody because of your view volume and all that kind of stuff. But you get like pennies on the dollar for just those skippable ads and the embedded ads. Once people start clicking on your ads, that's when your money goes up. It's CPC, cost per click, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. So your goal is to have ads that are targeted to your viewers. So I'm hoping that all my ads are like travel related kind of ads because my audience is ideally people interested in travel. So if there's a good ad on my video, it will entice them to actually click on it. And then I get paid slightly more than what I would get paid for just somebody viewing the video. And I think if they skip the video, I don't think I get paid at all. So
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure though, because YouTube doesn't send out in the email, they don't send out a breakdown of how everything works. They just say, welcome to the partner program, and that's about it.
And I think it depends on the type of video too, because I remember back on the Eclipse, and I don't know, this, but I just remember reading people's comments in one of the groups I was in. A lot of people on the Eclipse that had Eclipse videos that were monetized were talking about their the ads and the money they were making on these ads, and they talked about the type of videos. So I don't know, do you know anything about that? Like the type of video that it is that people will pay more or something like that? I think these ads will pay more.
I think it really all just depends on who you are and what your channel is and how big you are. Like I'm sure PewDiePie probably gets really good ad deals because there's lots, like millions of people watching his stuff, whereas no one's going to come to Down the Rabbit Hole Travel and be like, I'm going to pay $50 per ad, or you know what I mean?
I would. I think you're worth it.
But I am willing to share some of my numbers. So in the last 28 days, I've gotten 367 watch hours. So that's about 7,052 views. This is just something I took right before the stream. And my ad revenue is $20.04. So 7,000 views has translated to $20 of ad revenue. That's no super chats. That's nothing donated. That's straight up ad revenue. And then just within the month, so starting at January 1st to January 11th, I've only made $7.67. So it is not big money.
And is any of that click-throughs, or is that just views?
I can go check.
Because you get paid. So people in the chat, if you see an ad playing before somebody's video, make sure you watch it for 30 seconds because they don't get paid unless you watch it for 30 seconds. And then click through every so often, help each other out. Just because they're monetized, we still need to help each other.
Yeah. View doesn't count unless it's more than 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Sorry, I can't check click-through rate unless I change to beta.
Remember too that it hurts a channel if you just click on it. And so, sometimes if you want to watch a friend, let it play in the background or something like that as long as you can, because it definitely helps. It hurts if you just click on it and go.
So Phil Cochran was saying YouTube pays differently for ads in different countries. Not many people know this. So if you're in a different country, you're getting a different pay rate than if that same ad played in Canada.
Life in Ken and Jane says, I got the notice.
What are you talking about, the notice, Ken? It's probably Ken. He always is in the chat.
So I got my beta pulled up here. So in the last 28 days, I've had 62,000 impressions. So that's 62. I don't know where they're getting 62,000 impressions. I had 62,000 views. I don't know. I guess. No, it only said 7,000 views. I don't understand analytics. Anyways, it says 62,000
impressions is that they stayed longer and maybe made a comment, maybe?
Maybe that's comments and views and shares, maybe all together. Anyways, my click-through rate is 4.8%. So that's.
So LAJ 5126 says Norway pays best per 1,000. So I guess they get the best pay rate for some reason. No wonder we have so many people out of Norway YouTubing. Farm Fanatic Elf Lord's Journey says Farm All Fanatic just posted his first paycheck video. He made $114 already, and he just got monetized.
LAJ said impressions are when you pop up on the sidebar too. So that's me being in like a recommended list or a suggested list or something as well. That's why it's so much higher than my actual views. Thank you.
Thank you, Panic D, Paranormal History. Oh, you changed your name. They didn't have that history then, did they? Before.
And then I said video impressions are counted only for in-stream ads. In-stream is this is just on Google.
And then Philip Cochran also says North America and Europe pays them more than India and Asia. So, and we already read that one. That's pretty good. Also, too, the length of your video, doesn't that also dictate how many ads you can put on? That everything that's 10 minutes and more, you can have more than one ad. If it's less than 10 minutes, then you can only put one ad in your video. Does anybody know the answer to that?
That is true as far as I know. But I don't usually make really long videos, and even if I did, I don't think I would put a second ad in the middle because it drives me bananas. I didn't want to do that to people.
So that's a good question. What does everybody think about these embedded ads? I actually prefer the embedded ads when I'm watching a video because that ad
the little pop-up.
the heck out of me. Huh?
You mean just the little pop-up though, right?
Yeah, the one that's on the bottom.
I'm talking about the ones that cut your video off halfway through, start an ad. You have to sit there for the 20 seconds and watch the dumb ad, and then you can continue watching the video. I hate those.
I do too. I don't care for those at all. And I don't like the ones in the beginning either, even though I watch them because I know I have to do 30 seconds for them to get paid. So I prefer watching videos that have it embedded on the bottom. And so do you get paid less for that? Do you know?
I believe so.
Does anybody know that? The embedded ads?
Because you can X out of those.
Bottom there if you get paid less?
You can X out of those ones right away, whereas the skippable ones, you at least have to watch a portion of it.
So let's see if anybody's answering that question. Let's see. Pretty good. Let's see. Senja Aldine, who just got hit her 4,000 tonight. That's why my Facebook was going crazy. Says impressions is anything that your videos appear in the screen of the computer, even though that they were not playing your video. So Senja, what's so great about her getting to 4,000 is that she was monetized before last January and was doing pretty well. And she got demonetized in January. And so she has spent a year trying to get back there. And so this was a big accomplishment for her. Let's see. Elf Lord Journey, are you telling us that you got monetized in December? If so, congratulations. That's great. I love hearing that everybody's getting monetized. We've all worked so hard. Ability Mom of 2 says, I want to be down the rabbit hole when I grow up.
I think that's an old age joke, Leah.
Let's see. Life with Ken and Jane says, I think they are annoying. He doesn't like the ads either that are in the middle there. Phil Cochran says, yes, 10 minutes or more is the best time for YouTube. So he's agreeing that if you have 10 minutes or more in length, that you can have more ads. So a lot of people embed them, with a little bar down below. Let's see what else. So LAJ5126 says 39,000 views equals $195. So I don't even think I have that after a year. Let's see. We have quite a lot of conversation going on. So reviewing and playing in more, our RPM says, oh no, he's just referring to somebody. And I think I've got I think I'm caught up. Don't be afraid to make longer videos. It works. LAJ 5126, you say, so make longer videos. Don't be afraid to do them. Why do you suggest that? Because a lot of times people won't watch a longer video. So even though you can put more ads in it, why do you recommend that they make longer videos? If you can put that in the chat. Down the rabbit hole travel, it is based on bidding. I think it is in the analytics someplace. What does he mean by bidding? That's Panic D Paranormal said that. It's based on bidding. I don't understand what he means by that. Do you guys? You guys hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just answering.
Oh, I thought you were asking them in the chat.
Yeah, I don't understand what he means by bidding.
Diane Paul seems to know quite a bit about the advertising too, so maybe she knows what it means by the bidding.
So Diane used to be in the magazine business, and she bases a lot of her advertisement knowledge off of being in the business. And so she has dealt with this throughout her whole career. I actually had a conversation with her about that this morning. So she's not monetized yet.
She said advertisers bid for YouTubers or categories. So I'm assuming then if you're like popular, like PewDiePie, people are bidding to have their ads on his channel.
Interesting.
Makes sense. It does make sense.
I
rich
did not know that.
The rich get richer.
Yeah, Diane is a really great source of marketing information. So even though she's not monetized, she's worked her whole career in this industry. And so she brings a lot to the table. We'll have to have her on. So she can
trying to look up to see which ads make more money. Did anybody answer that in the chat? Because I was trying to Google that.
What was the question?
Which ads make more money? You get paid more on? Like, is it the cards, the non-skippable?
Yeah, I also have a question on some of these ads are 5 minutes long. Some are 30 seconds. So I know they're paying more to have a 5-minute ad, but do you get paid more as a YouTuber?
And that's what I was trying to Google. I see all the descriptions for it, but none of it that I'm seeing says which ones pay you more, the YouTuber.
Let's see, full blown. So full blown front ads, non-skip make more money.
Yeah, I know the non-skippable ones make more.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking those little ones that we all like that are embedded at the bottom probably don't make very much because you can X out of those instantly.
So,
but that's just a guess.
Okay, so the longer somebody plays the ad, so me as a viewer, I go down the rabbit hole and one of those 5-minute ads come up and I watch the whole thing. Do you, Wrabbit, get more money because I watched 5 minutes of that ad before your video, or do you just get the same amount whether it's 5 minutes or 30 seconds? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Anybody in the chat know that?
Look
so
at
the longer the ad, so advertisers are getting in line to advertise. Life with Ken and Jane says they're getting in line to advertise on his channel. He's not monetized yet. He's getting there though.
So, can I ask Marty a question? So I was wondering, like, when you're monetized, and this is completely in a different direction now, but I always think about this? Okay, having over 200 videos, are you going through each video now? Are you going through and making sure, you know, that there's no copyright music. I mean, because it seems like once you get monetized, you don't want to just throw all your videos on monetization, right? Because you want to make sure you're not going to get copyright claims and things like that. So are you like going through each one of your videos, or are you just monetizing them?
There are some that I can't, because I got like a little note like, this video is not suitable for advertisers. It's a bikini waitress flipping bottles, cocktail style. So there's some that I just
Everybody's now running to that video.
I turned the button right off of that one because there's no way anyone's gonna put an ad on that. And there are some that have copyright claims, so I turn the monetization off on those because I don't even want to deal with it. I'm just like, you know what? It's got some views. People like the video. I don't need to have everything monetized, so I left those off. And there were some videos that I'm like, this is a really cool video. And also I didn't do a very good job editing it way back when. So I have gone through some of my old videos and I've re-edited, fixed the music, made sure I didn't have any copyright claimed images, and then I reissued it, and then I put the old video onto unlisted so that I wouldn't quite lose the views on it. But if you're going to go search up that video, you're going to find the new version instead of the old version.
It is a big job getting monetized. Like, you're not just monetizing and throwing it all out there.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but there'd be a bunch of videos where there's ads popping up on the video, but I don't get the revenue. So why would I pester my viewers with ads?
Mm-hmm.
But
that makes sense. So Major Black Rose says, yeah, the more time watched in ads, the more revenue is given. That is why you see big YouTubers putting loads of ads in their videos. So if it's a 5-minute ad compared to a 30-second one, you're getting paid more. And there was something else too. I think I lost it.
Which when you're a big YouTuber, you can do a little easier. Like when I do it, no one's going to probably sit through a whole lot for Unapologetically Gomes.
So Major Black Rose says, big tip, never put monetization as an auto setting for uploaded videos. Do it all manually. I'd like to know why they think that.
Oh, that's
answer in the chat.
Did you hear that, Black Rose? And then Panic D Paranormal says, there are some videos that come up to saying not suitable. You can request a review of them and YouTube will review to see if they should be or not. We had a few of those. I'm curious on what some of those videos were for you, because you just basically do paranormal investigations and tell stories about haunted places. What are some of the videos that were not suitable?
I had one recently, my travel trivia on Christmas around the world. And they said it wasn't suitable. I'm like, nuts to that. And so I had them review it and they passed it and said it was fine. But I think it's because the title was Decking the Halls Around the World, and maybe the auto thing picked it up and thought it was something dirty. I don't know.
Misinterpreted it.
Well, do know, everybody, that if you mark your videos with adult content, so like, let's, say you're doing a game, you did a gaming video and it had a lot of adult content in it, which happens a lot in gaming, but you mark your video as that, you cannot monetize that video if it's marked as adult content and you marked it.
Another thing that's a little risky is when you have, like for family vloggers, because I don't know if you guys remember last year, a lot of family vloggers were getting taken down, not just demonetized. And so if you have small children, or even if your kids look like small children, because I've seen it where people have somebody who just looks really young, and you use any type of children hashtags, be careful, because those get those Autobots that automatically go to them also. And if they recognize, if you take them to the doctor appointment or if they get hurt, YouTube doesn't want to see hurt children. And so you got to be really careful when you're vlogging. And a lot of people were getting in trouble for that when they leave it on there, because the kid got a little wound or put a Band-Aid on or things like that. They got really strict on that. So be careful if you're a family vlogger and using children in the hashtags. Or if you're, yeah, they were getting pulled down, and some people were just losing their channels, and a lot of them were innocent. It's just like, you're vlogging and the kid fell and hurt their knee or whatever, they took them to the doctors to get a tooth pulled or whatever. But YouTube just, they weren't, because it was getting all mixed up with the people who were kind of abusing that, not abusing children, but abusing that, you know, for views, you know. So I remember some people sharing their letters and things like that. And they basically were being told that if the child, I forget the word they used, if somebody can help me, if the child looks,
in distress.
In distress. Thank you, Marty. That's exactly it. In distress. They didn't want to see that anymore. So be careful on that.
But yet there's videos out there that I find disturbing. Like I saw one yesterday and I don't know where it was. It seemed like it was somewhere in Asia. I'm not sure. But these guys killed an ostrich and the whole video was them plucking the feathers off this ostrich and preparing it to cook. And I'm sorry, I found that really offensive. Yeah. And I ended up, you know, stopped watching it. So I don't even know what happened. Yeah. But
I can't stand seeing animals.
How did that get through? But some kid getting, you know, a Sesame Street Band-Aid on his boo-boo gets taken.
It depends on your, I'm saying your market, but it's your target market. If you're a child or a family vlog channel, you know, so somebody else that's not claiming to be that can get away with a little bit more.
Okay.
So that's why I just took child or any children completely out of all my hashtags, out of all my tags. You know, I'm even get concerned with using teen because my kids are teens now, but I used to, when I started out, I was using all those family vlogging and child hashtags and I took them all out because it made me too nervous.
Huh. Interesting.
And my channel's pretty innocent, but still, you just never know. Oh, and it was bathing suits too. Like literally, they don't want to see small children, and I can get that, you know.
It's just funny, like you try to do everything right, but somehow you feel like you're walking on eggshells all the time.
I know.
I get that they're trying to protect viewers and they're trying to protect advertisers, but there's so many little rules that it's kind of scary because you don't know them all.
But you know, there's a lot of companies out there or musicians or artists, they want you to put their stuff in there. They just want the ability to say yes or no because it's advertisement for them. So like if I'm doing cocktail time with Mr. Martini and we bring up a Smirnoff bottle, that's great advertisement for them. I mean, how can they be against that? And they're usually not because you're getting the word out for them and the videos are getting shared and it's going on and on and on. Diane Pale was talking about this just this morning in the magazine business. What was the word you used, Diane? When somebody buys a magazine, they're counting on you taking that magazine and giving it to somebody else and somebody else giving it. And so the ads are constantly being transmitted along. And so even though that person didn't pay for that magazine, it's getting passed around and there was a word for it. And it's the same thing with this. They want to see their products. I mean, they're getting free advertisement. So I think sometimes we're a little too cautious about having logos and products in our videos when most of the time, unless you're bashing it or making it look bad in some way, I don't think that a lot of companies have a big problem with it. At least that's the way I feel. How do you guys feel about that?
Sorry, just answering a comment. I was reading the comment about Daddy 50, and that's exactly who I was. Sorry, I was thinking about who said that. Somebody I saw said
LAJ.
Yeah,
I still don't know how to say his name.
I feel like that was one of the ones that got everything going. Sorry,
I don't know the story behind that.
I don't want to. I would tell you it, but I'm afraid I would repeat it wrong. But I guess in a nutshell, he was accused of allegedly using the children to do stunts, and they were getting hurt. Okay. So it was something that I heard. You know, children's services. I'm not sure. Is that the one? I think. Am I remembering it correctly? They can tell me.
Common sense, not to do.
Yeah, but it kind of. It was just during that time that it just kind of caused them to go through all family bloggers and all children, and to make sure they weren't being.
Well, yeah, you don't want child exploitation happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Diane Pale says that the word I was trying to think of is read per copy. So if you do the magazine thing, passing it around. So if you do a video and you have a product in it, you're not getting paid to have that product. but your video is being shared and stuff, like a company like Smeared is, they're going to go, great, we're getting free advertisement and your video is getting shared, you know? So she says that's in the magazine industry, that's called reader per copy. So how many readers are you getting per copy magazine? So how many viewers are you getting per video in this case? So we've had a lot of new people come in, and so I'm thinking that that we should probably repeat the thing, because since they're talking about the 365-day thing, on what that's all about, because we have a lot of new people since we started this blog. So basically, how we started this conversation was, what does it really mean to get 4,000 hours in the previous 12 months? And do you have to maintain that 4,000 once you get monetized? No, you do not have to maintain the 4,000 once you get monetized. And I verified that today from YouTube's documentation, and I'll put that link in the chat and in the description when this goes to video, where you can find that. Also, the 4,000 in the previous 12 months is a rolling 365 days. And that's why some people are losing hours. So if you, like Marie, that's on here with Unapologetically Gnomes, she put a video up 366 days ago, and it was doing really well and had a lot of hours. She lost all those hours for that particular video because it was 366 days from today. So it's a rolling 365 days. So as you move along, your hours are dropping off at the end. Anything that's greater than 365 days, you're losing those hours. Right. So you're not doing a whole lot in the previous 365 days, you're not getting to 4,000. And so a lot of people are experiencing that right now. They're losing time. So does that... And remember, once you get monetized, you do not have to maintain that 4,000. And I verified that on YouTube. And that's another big question. So does everybody understand that? Because Marty's got diagrams.
My really technical background. January 14th to December 14th. And then once it turns into December 15th, the tail end of your slider will slide over to this one. So if you had 10 hours on this day, but only 2 hours on this day, you will be down 8 hours.
So does everybody understand that in the chat? Does that make sense? Because I know some of you, I've been getting a lot of people ask me, why am I losing time? Why am I losing time? So always look, when you're analytics, always look at your 365-day analytic, not your lifetime. So when I say you're losing time on your monetization page. So when you go into channel, and then there you've got the option for a monetization, and then it shows you how many subs you have and how many hours you have. That's where you're losing time. But you'll always have your lifetime. Your lifetime will always be all the hours that you ever got, but it's not going towards that 4,000.
I know a lot of people don't realize it changes daily, not monthly, not yearly, daily.
Yeah, because like, how many hours did you lose in the last couple of months, Marie?
Just from yesterday, past midnight last night, I lost 2 hours, even though I was uploading because of that video. It was doing well, so I lost 2 hours. I don't even know now, but I think I was telling you the other day that because in November I started a new job and I didn't upload at all of November, and December was minimal. I literally from the end of October to today, I lost 30 hours because I was uploading a lot then and not uploading at all. I lost 30 hours. And then I started gaining a little bit more. And then it was sad to wake up last night to notice I lost another 2 hours. So I'm going up and then going down, going up, going down, because consistency, it's all about being consistent. And I haven't been.
Yeah, you really got to put the, you just really got to just put out a lot of content and really work at it to get to that 4,000. And we all have to help each other.
Right.
I mean, we really have to help each other. I mean, really go out there and start watching videos in full. Just don't go back. If somebody makes a comment, you go to their site, just don't go there and watch it for a minute. Watch it in full. We're all in this game together, and we all need help. And getting us over that hump, we really rely on each other, and it's just so important. This community.
And I recommend really growing your social media, because I think I would have been worse. I could have lost so much more. But even though, you know, I stopped because I got a new job and I was in training and trying to balance it all, you know, so I just let it go for a while because I had to focus on the new job. And, but periodically I would tweet out an old video. So I would post the old videos in the groups I was in. I would post an old video on LinkedIn. So I did keep views going, else I'd be in even worse shape than I am today. So I was still growing my social media, but I just didn't have time to sit and edit right now. So I do recommend anybody who might be new, like me, a young channel, grow your social media, grow LinkedIn, grow Twitter, grow your Instagram. And I wasn't even using my Instagram. I've just learned how to really use Instagram for YouTube. I couldn't get the whole grasp, because it's a picture, you know, you post pictures. And I'm like, but how do you know, besides putting the link in the bio? So I'm just starting to figure that out. So grow your social media, because that's going to help you get those hours too.
Now, I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook, yours being one, which we'll talk about in a second. And when I look at my analytics, most of my traffic's coming from Facebook. Like 43% of my traffic is from Facebook. And the reason being is I belong to a lot of groups, YouTube groups, and everybody's helping each other. And there's tons out there. And if you're interested in belonging to one of these groups, you know, IM me on Facebook and we'll get you, you know, added to them. And Marie's got one, your
YouTube
my YouTube fam. And there's tons of them out there. And there's one certain genres, if you're, you know, paranormal, Panic D Paranormal, who's in this chat right now. They have an amazing group set up. I do, you know, I don't do paranormal investigation, but I do a lot of paranormal stories because it's something I'm into. So I belong to a lot of paranormal groups, and they have been so supportive of these videos I've put up with these paranormal stories. But I probably belong and participate in about 10 different groups, and they've just been wonderful. I mean, they're just 43% of my traffic.
Can I comment on that, Divine? Because when I first started out, it's where I learned everything, you know, in a very short time, because I was in a group called YouTube Family Friendly Vloggers, which is now an invite only group. It has about 4,000 people in it. And the information I would get from that group was just like going to college. I would always invite anybody who was new. I'm like, you got to join this group. Well, now they're invite only. And it's simple, you know, they put up a daily thread and you post your video on there and you can connect with other people, but you can't spam, you know, whatever. There's not very many rules, but you know, you don't post to the wall. And I know a lot of people don't like all these rules, but I don't have you post to the wall because everything gets lost. So it's all just organized. That's all it is. Fantastic. I learned so much. And then I joined some other ones, but I noticed a couple of other ones I joined, my view time just shot down. So be careful is all I'm saying, because some groups can hurt you. I was in one group that I'd have all these people leave me comments, but they wouldn't watch my videos. And you can tell when they watch your videos by watching your analytics. And it's not like I was investing a lot of time into, you know, I don't have that much time, but it was just so easy sometimes. So if I ever had a minute, I saw someone leave a comment, I'm like, dude, I just uploaded that video. Do you guys ever get that? Like you literally just upload your video and it's like a 10-minute video, and 2 minutes later they're like, oh, great video. You know? And I'm like, really? Did you watch it? So, and I had some people that really portrayed themselves as a friend. I thought I was building a friendship with them, and I kind of noticed in a comment, and then I decided I'm going to look. And because we're all over different countries, some countries are easier because I don't have that many friends in this country, you know, so I could look in my analytics, because I didn't have like I didn't have YouTube Buddy or Social Blade or any of these at that time, but I could simply go into my analytics and see that from that country, I only had, and I was a small channel at that time, so I didn't have that many people. So I could see if I only had 1 or 2 views that hour, and it would break it down by country. And that's like, not even 30 seconds long of a watch.
Yeah.
So my whole point is not to put down any groups. Just be careful that you're joining a group that doesn't hurt you. I don't get overzealous over measuring the views. I don't have that much time. But if all of a sudden you're noticing your retention's going way down, you just might want to get out of that group. That's all. And find a group where maybe it's a little bit more supportive. Like in my group, I try not to have too many rules, just rules to keep organized. And you encourage people to watch, but you can't force people to watch, the whole thing. So, I mean, if you're just going to be tweeting out your links, you're going to get some people that are just going to click on it. But anyways, we try to get a supportive community that's going to watch your video as long as it can, because it hurts if they don't. But be careful.
You're so right. As a matter of fact, Major Black Rose actually said that same thing. He said, big problem about a lot of YouTube groups, there are too many fake supporters. And people who do fake support for support, I have seen it happen a lot. And that's so true. I mean, it just, I belong to a bunch of them, but then I just participate in the ones that I really feel that I'm getting support from, and I've made friends, and, and there's maybe 5 groups that I really participate in, yours and Ben Chavez's group and some of the paranormal groups like Panic D's group. And I try to make the rounds because it's really hard when you work 40 hours a week, and
it's also hard to watch everybody's videos so I try to give a fair watch. And then honestly, I'm human, so I can't sometimes watch a whole video, but I want to watch enough where it's going to help that person's channel and not hurt it. So I'm not a clicker. I'm not going to click on and click off and just leave a comment. If I cannot watch a decent amount, then I'm not going to watch at all. And that's why sometimes people won't see me for a while, because I don't want to hurt your channel rather than help. So, I'll wait till the weekends and, but when I play it, I try to just play it in the background while I'm editing or something like that. And you guys can do that too. If you're going to watch someone's channel, leave it on in the background for a little while, hit the like button and do your editing or do something else.
Yeah, I'm the queen of having like 20 tabs open, and I'll watch your video as much as I can. And then I don't mute it, because somebody told me somewhere that if you mute it, it won't count for time.
On the YouTube mute. I
don't know if that's true, but I'll just turn the sound a little bit lower, and then I'll go and I'll watch the next person's. But I make sure everybody's gets a full run through, just because I don't want them to end up having really bad bounce rates and stuff. So
I'm curious, people in the chat, if you've heard that before, that if you mute the sound, the view won't count. Has anybody ever heard that before? Because the same person told Marty and I that, and so I do the same thing, because I'm afraid somebody won't get the view if I mute it. But I'm curious if anybody knows that in the chat. I've also put Unapologetically Gnomes and Wrabbit's link just now in the chat, so you can visit their channels and definitely sub them. Also, Panic D Paranormal said that PR also has a wonderful paranormal group. They are great. I belong to that one. Panic D's and PSPR have been just wonderful people and so supportive. And even if you don't do paranormal videos, it's a great place to find some really quality videos to watch. I mean, these guys do such a great job. They go into these houses and stuff, and it just pulls me in. I'm just so fascinated by it. And they're really good quality, especially the stuff that Panic D and PSPR put out. They're very high quality videos. They're absolutely wonderful, and they're great supporters. So make sure that you get those links. Also, Review Plain and More RPM says same process if you are able to apply if you meet. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you meet if you meet requirements but not allowed in your channel, your location. Phil Cochran says Peter worked for Henry's. Oh no, he's carrying on a side conversation.
Lots of people haven't heard the sound thing before, Denise. I've never heard anything about the sound. Never heard the mute thing. It's not correct. Turning sound off does not affect the view.
Yeah, I'm reading about it on Google, and it doesn't say that it says it still counts from everything I'm reading. But I read that in a group too, though, you know, so I just make sure I don't mute it on YouTube. They were saying that YouTube knew, like, if you mute it, so I would like use my.
Which just goes to speak for how paranoid the community has become to break all these inexplicable rules that we don't know exist or not.
Well, you know, I'm a software engineer, and I was trying to think about that programmably, like how would I write that in code? And because it's a browser, and I was like, no, I don't think they know if you mute it or not. They might, but I think that we would see what we call post back, where the page would go post back to their server. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I still want to be careful because I want to make sure people are getting views.
Yeah.
And there was another rumor that goes around. There was this big rumor saying they were changing the rules again to 10,000 views. I mean, 10,000 hours. Was it 10,000 hours or 10,000 subscribers?
Oh my God.
It was, what was it? It was 10,000 hours and 4,000 followers. And I also heard, and I don't want to be spreading rumors or anything, but I did hear that they were going to stop making live streams count towards your total.
No, you don't die.
there's so much going around. Everybody's like kind of paranoid.
And especially this month, because people are losing hours and they don't understand why. And so everybody's just freaking out right now. And especially because it's coming upon the anniversary, they're like expecting them to do another blow. That YouTube throw us another blow. And that whole 10,000 hour thing was supposed to be like January 1st, and it never happened. You know,
they're just trying to scare us now because we're so paranoid. Because you're just so crazy. Well, because they run everything so they can change at any time, and you're just thinking, oh my God, by the time I get to my 4,000, are they going to change it to 10,000?
Phil Cochran said, "Yes, I started the rumor."
This is why you need to have a blog.
The sound or the 10,000 hours.
I like Major Black Rose says, the one thing I can say about YouTube is that they always tell people ahead of time when they change their policy, which is
true.
To be true.
Okay, well, tell me this, because I wasn't on YouTube this last time around. Did they give you warning before they did that?
Well, not a whole bunch. They gave us, I think it was 30 days, 28 days, something like that.
Before you were demonetized, but for those people who actually, like I got my 10,000 views on December 31st, and I sat for like a week or two waiting to hear before but I knew, like you knew, I'm not getting monetized. Something's changing. I just knew something's changing. So,
I didn't get very much notice before I got demonetized. So,
but they gave you what, 2 or 3 months?
No, it was a month, maybe slightly less, but it was about a month.
So I thought it was longer than that. Yeah.
And what's horrible, oh God, who was that? Crafty Mommy 85. She was monetized and then got demonetized. And she had like $75 that she had made. And I guess you have to have $100 before you can take the money out. And so she's had this $75 sitting there and she couldn't take it out. And it's just been sitting there until she gets monetized again.
You know, way back when I first started my channel, what I was telling you about, before I knew anything about YouTube, I didn't know anything about social media. It was just because my kids were doing the acting thing. I remember I didn't understand what the monetizing was, so it just automatically monetized everything. And I remember watching at the bottom, I earned 12 cents one week, and then I earned 6 cents the other week. Well, I deleted my channel. I didn't even try to get the money, but I think at that time I had accumulated like well over a quarter. I kind of regret getting off YouTube then.
Gonna buy yourself a gumball or something.
I know. I could.
Or a ring out of one of those machines in the grocery store.
I didn't know what it was then. I wasn't doing it or paying attention to it. I have to say, I wish I knew now what I knew then. I would have stuck to it and grew a little more.
That's so funny. So Major Black Rose says, the one thing I can say about YouTube,
I read
that they always tell people ahead of time when they change policy. So, and then Panic Deep Paranormal says, based on what you just said, Colorado Martini, as a programmer, how do you think YouTube reviews the video content? I think the bots read the CC text. CC text, you mean the closed captioning? What do you mean CC text?
Closed captioned.
Is that what he means?
Yeah. Because every time you upload a video, it automatically will create closed captioning for you, but it can be really inaccurate. So it can have some random words in there that might not be appropriate, and you might get flagged for what it's. So my vow this year is to go through all my videos and clean up my closed captioning. I've done it for maybe 3 or 4 videos. It can be time consuming, but.
So I don't know a whole lot about that technology when it comes to closed captioning. It's a completely different kind of programming than I do. I'm a business programmer. And so I don't get involved in, or I never have gotten involved in any kind of gaming programming, any kind of closed captioning, voice recognition. A lot of that came out and became very popular after, I mean, I've been a programmer for ages. And so I do, in my career, I've done a lot of scientific programming and business programming. And so I haven't gotten involved with that. So I'm not sure.
No programming involved. You just go into your video manager, you click on edit under the video. And then
no, I'm answering Panic D's question.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just talking about how to close
caption. But going along those lines, do tell us how to do that, because YouTube says it's really important that we do closed captioning, because it will help people find the engines find our content because it's in text form. So why don't you, if you can do it off the top of your head, explain how to do that.
Sure. Yeah, it's like having another set of tags, basically. So if you go into your video manager and you click edit on the video that you want to fix the closed captioning, you'll get your little edit screen where it says info and settings, enhancements, audio, end screen and annotations, cards. And the last one is subtitles / closed captioning. If you click on that, it'll pull up what YouTube has automatically generated as your closed captioning text. And mine says English automatic, so I click on it and then all my text comes up. And I can read it right now. I'm just looking at my gondola one, the latest one. And it's like, no punctuation. There's some wrong words in here.
So it's not very good is what you're telling us?
I mean, it's like a stream of consciousness writing. We are on a gondola, Joey. So lucky. Oh yeah, we're on a gondola, everybody. Welcome to Venice, Italy, where it is. Like there's nothing to make it comprehensible. So I need to go in there and I need to fix that. And I need to do that with like all my videos.
But I've heard that. I've heard the same thing that what you're saying from a lot of people. And
if you're saying words that are a little bit strange, like for me, for travel, I'll say a lot of name places. Sometimes the stuff that pops up is so inaccurate. And there's been a couple where I'm like, ooh, I do not want that popping up on my video.
I should pay my kids to go through mine.
Yeah.
Panic D says it's voice to text and it's horrible. The bot gets everything wrong, laughing out loud. Although I work IT at school, no wonder you had that question. I'm an old school business programmer as well. Now, one thing that I saw, I don't know, I read somewhere and I tried it once, that Google Docs, Google has spent a fortune on voice to text technology. And that if you open up a Google Doc and play and have it do voice to text, there's a very simple button that you push to do voice to text. So you put the cursor in the document, do voice to text, and then play your video loud at the same time. It will start recording the voice into text, and that it's pretty good, and that it's actually probably the best out there and very simple to use. I actually tried that on one of my videos, a short one, and tested it, and it was actually pretty good. I was kind of surprised. And it sounds like it might be better than having YouTube do it. And especially now they're becoming separate companies. You know, has anybody else ever tried that with the Google Docs or ever heard of that?
I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, so it's very simple. Just open up Google Docs, put the cursor in, push the button to do voice to text, and play your video, and it starts typing. It just starts, yeah, it just starts typing into the Google Doc. And what's nice about it is that you have a copy of it, and then you can clean it up. And, so try it on a short video first.
Yeah.
But it's time consuming. But the way Marty's doing it, and looking at it might be easier.
Well,
but
it's already
automatically
mostly
doing it.
done for you. You just go in and you add capitals and you add periods and you fix the wrong words. And if you don't like the way they've timed it out, because it's timed out by seconds, like chunks of seconds. So if you want the start of your sentence to flip over here instead of being at the tail end of this, you can fiddle with it, but it's mostly already done for you.
Does it take a lot of time? Is it pretty easy?
It's pretty easy. I just did one not long ago. I can't remember which one I did, but it took me like 2 minutes. It was pretty fast.
Panic D, cobalt
rules. It's just getting worse for me every time I don't do it. I'm making a bigger job for myself. I got to start doing it instead of being so lazy about it.
There's so many things to remember when you upload, though. Like LAJ, I think, was asking about descriptions and tags. So you want to write a good description and have lots of your keywords and your SEO in your description. You also want to add your social media links in your description. You also want to add any copyright notices in your description and disclaimers and Amazon affiliate stuff in your description.
I have all that defaulted.
Then you want to go through tags and you want to add all the correct tags. And even with TubeBuddy, that still takes time. And I mean, they're getting rid of the automatic upload to Twitter, but before I would always have to write my Twitter stuff.
I saw that. I mean, I still have it all in my description and I have it as a default there, but I heard that it's not going to automatically. So I haven't read completely on it, but I did read how it's not going to automatically tweet out for us or post to Facebook. But I have vidIQ, so I know I can do it through vidIQ. But what is? They were saying that there's an alternative to it. What do you know what that is, Marty?
I don't. I do it manually anyways because I don't like the format that it. Like I have it set to upload automatically to Twitter, but then I go and I do it again anyways because I like having my big thumbnail there, and I like writing a little personal thing. And you can only put so many characters when it's the automatic upload, but when you go straight to Twitter, it's like double the characters. So
I did the same thing. It's even though it's not as convenient as having to do it automatically, I think it's so much better to put your own thumbnail in there and your own tags, and it just is a better way of advertising.
I have a question for you guys, if you don't mind, and for Twitter also. I know when you upload your video, you automatically post it. How many more times do you tweet out or post your videos besides the groups? Like just on Twitter or your LinkedIn, how many times do you tweet out a video and how often after the automatic upload, the automatic tweet?
So I don't use automatic tweets. So when I upload, I usually post right away. If I upload in kind of a bizarre time of day, like 4 in the morning, then I hold off and I won't tweet it out until maybe noon. So I try to do it at times where I feel a lot of people are on social media or they have their phones in their hands, so they get the alerts, whether it be Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. And sometimes I stagger it across social media. I'll like do it Facebook and then do it Twitter, and I'll stagger it throughout the day. And then older videos, I'll repost. If I haven't been putting up videos for a couple weeks, I try to put out a video every week, but for some reason, if I haven't, I'll repurpose and repost something. I won't retweet. I'll do it all over again with the thumbnail and stuff. And that I've noticed that brings me a lot of traffic in on my older videos.
Yeah. See, I was noticing that. I see some people that are saying they retweet it out because I know some friends don't put out another one. They just do it the one time. And I tend to do mine about on LinkedIn. I'll do 4 times a day. Sometimes I'll do it maybe with a different video in between. And I try to make sure on LinkedIn it's a video that might have some education to it or some information or whatever. And then on Twitter, I'll do it at least twice a day.
I created a completely different profile from my personal profile. I did it as Colorado Martini, and then I have a whole separate one for Denise, because to me, they're 2 different worlds and they're 2 different careers, and one has nothing to do with the other. And I've actually made a lot of friends on LinkedIn. Marty and I both are on LinkedIn, and I've belonged to a bunch of groups there too, but it hasn't been as valuable as Facebook has.
Right. I think LinkedIn is more like a professional site where people go to job search and connect with other
Yeah.
companies.
I'm seeing more and more YouTubers on there. I mean, honestly, I only get about 6%, 4 to 6% of my views from there, but I have gotten some followers from there.
There's been more groups being made on it, I've noticed, but I still find it's not really a high traffic place for me personally.
Yeah. And
If I was like a financial YouTube channel, LinkedIn would be an excellent place for me to go.
And a lot of the YouTubers that have profiles there, they say they work at YouTube. So they, like I say, I work at Colorado Martini,
Right.
but they say they work at YouTube, but they're YouTubers.
I see that for a lot of them. I just list myself as a content creator. But yeah, because that's the only way you can put that, I think, in your bio and stuff. But I have automatic messages that'll go out and tell people about my channel. So that's why once in a while I'll get a viewer from there. But I utilize it all. I utilize LinkedIn, Twitter.
So LAJ5126 was asking, rumor has it that a face in the thumbnail really helps. Sadly, I'm stuck with this face. Listen to you. And that is true, that having people relate to other people better than they do words. And so having a face there, it really does bring people in. It's marketing research has proved that. Also, I watched this YouTube Academy video saying that, what do they really look at when they're searching for videos with the search engine? And they say that they pay more attention to the title and what's in the description than they do the keywords. That it's more important that you have exactly what your video is about in the title and the description than it does the keywords when it comes to the search engine. Anybody else heard that?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I haven't read that, but I would, or did I? God, I've read so much. I don't even know what I've read.
I've
what have I read and what am I making up in my head?
It's all a rich tapestry.
But I hear, like, if you put a lot of information in the description box about it, that gets picked up also.
So it's getting pretty late.
I can hear my family having dinner out there, so I might have to.
So we've been on for over an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes at this point. So why don't we call it a night?
Denise, can I just mention that I'm going to go live at 6 is it's my last Sunday night live stream because of my job and my new hours. So
you're going live right now?
At 6.
Oh, well, everybody go over to Unapologetically. No, here, let's get everybody's link in here. Here's her link.
It's just fun. I have a bunch of like wild, crazy questions for the chat. So it should just be a fun.
So do you have guests tonight?
No guests. It's just going to be fun. It's all about the people in the chat tonight.
Oh my God, you've had a busy weekend. So yesterday you were on
Japanese
Lifestyle UK. And then you were on here tonight. So I just put Unapologetically Gnome's link in there. And then this is Marty's. This is Down the Rabbit Hole's link. For some reason, it won't let me enter it. Marty, maybe you can do it. For some reason, I'm frozen.
I'll try.
Oh, there it goes.
Lowest typer. Oh, you got it.
The one I just put in is Down the Rabbit Hole. So we have, if you're just getting here, we had Marty Down the Rabbit Hole. And we had Marie from Unapologetically Gnomes, and we've been kind of just talking about rumors on YouTube and what 360 really means. And if you got in late and you were wondering what that's all about, I suggest that you come back and watch this when this is a recording, because there was a lot of really great information that you guys have put out and people in the chat.
Yeah, the chat was awesome.
The chat was
awesome. Thank you so much, everybody that contribute to this information, because we're alone in this. I mean, as far as when it comes to YouTube and us, we need to help each other. And the only way we learn is from each other and what other people's experiences are. And we're a community, and it's just so important. And go out there and watch everybody's videos. Let's get there together, and let's all get monetized together. And just because somebody's monetized, still go and watch their videos, because help them make some money and click through.
Yeah.
Oh, the chat. I was like getting engrossed in the chat.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us tonight. And we have to do this again. This was fun and very informative and stuff. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for participating. Your information was just priceless. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
And hit the like button before you guys go if you didn't hit the like button for our host here.
Thank you, Maria. We appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody's support. We just wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for all of you. And we all love you. Mwah, mwah.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night.